Let that rich motherfucker put the camera on me. I'll rock my ass so hard he'll forget his mama's name.
Yeah, Hurricane was a living legend in Harlem, and he had his house on lock and under total control. He was a genius when it came to recognizing raw street talent, and he dominated the music industry so viciously, it made those cats over at Crunk Cuts and Ruthless Rap look weak and broke down. Hurricane was in deep with the mafia, too, and they gave him a lot of rope. He strong-armed a bunch of small businesses and laundered mob money through almost all of them, especially the corner liquor store he owned and his rib joint that was right next door. He played the role of a community leader and all that, too, giving out free turkeys during the holidays and sponsoring bookmobiles and things like that for kids in the hood. He had fat knots in his pockets and was even known to organize street cleanups and pay people's bills when they got too far behind. But nothing went down in Harlem that Hurricane wasn't involved in. No deals got made, no pussy got sold, no dice got tossed. Nobody so much as rolled a blunt unless Hurricane got his cut. Hurricane had mad pull from coast to coast. In the time that I'd known him, he'd signed some of the hottest singers and rap artists from LA to Miami and snatched them into his camp. A few artists he straight stole from other labels, and some he actually got honest. But no matter how they got there, the minute they put their name on the dotted line, their asses belonged to the House of Homicide, and Hurricane Jackson became their Don, their daddy, and their dictator. This Friday night was starting out just like any other. I was chilling downstairs in one of the recording rooms with two hopeful artists, Jazzy and Danita. Friday nights were Fresh Talent Night at the House of Homicide. The house was packed, and rappers and video hoes were lined up out the door and around the corner waiting for their chance to jump in the pit and impress Hurricane. Jazzy had been here once before, but it was Danita's first night in the house. Since we were sitting around waiting for the pit to go live, we decided to kill some time listening to some bootleg mixtape somebody had brought in off the streets. I'd watched both of these chicks rehearse the tracks they were going to perform in the pit tonight, and they didn't sound half bad. The problem was, they were regular. Didn't nothing stand out about them except their asses. I knew exactly which rooms they would end up in, and it damn sure wasn't going to be no mic room like they were hoping. Jazzy was the cutest of the two, and she was rocking a pair of Donna Karan shorts that were so tight the V between her legs looked like a camel toe. Danita was just as hot. She sported a fly little rock-aware miniskirt that clung to her thighs and rolled up her hips every time she moved. Upstairs, the music was banging and the party was in full charge. The way Danita and Jazzy were flossing, I could tell they were ready to rush up the steps, grab a baller, and get crunk in the middle of the mix. "Damn, Candy," Danita said, winding her hips and slurping from a cold bottle of beer. "I ain't into no bitches, but you one lucky heifer. Booming body, pretty red hair, blue eyes, light chocolate skin. I see why that nigga Hurricane got you laced up so lovely. Do you, boo? If I was laying up with Hurricane, I'd be iced out and cutting hits left and right, too. But just wait till your nigga hears some of my rhymes. I'ma press his ass out." I just nodded and thought about Dominica and Von Zell, my girls from Scandalous. We was fresh and hot like Jazzy and Danita at one time, too, so I understood what kind of cloud their heads were stuck in. Born singing, I had visions of being a superstar for as long as I could remember, but hard knocks and cold men had taught me a little something about the music business that Jazzy and Danita must didn't know. These chicks couldn't see past the obvious. The bright lights, iced-out jewels, expensive cars. All this shit came with a price on it, a price that Sex and Hurricane had taught me I couldn't afford to pay. I met some pretty mean niggas during my travels, but Hurricane Jackson was the first one to show me what real pain was all about. Hurricane held a lease on my life. He'd paid the mob cash money for my ass, and his word and his protection were the only things keeping me alive. I got my first taste of Hurricane's cruelty while I laid up naked in his bed, and the minute I saw what he was working with, I knew my shit was fried. The nigga was a bone crusher. He had a body like Mr. Universe. Mike Tyson didn't have shit on him. Swole chest, 12-pack stomach, muscles everywhere, but it was mainly for show. Sex with Hurricane was all about Hurricane, and he got his